Interestingly, my camera is called 5D. Also interestingly is they said that as the Force awakens again in theaters, blah, 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 section, and it says 5D paragraph. So we're communicating with each other in 5D. We are coming together in love. We're growing in love. And yes, there are, how do you say, beings that are not ready yet in love to share the love. Love is, as Mr. Winter said, a shareable wave. You can't own that. It comes from the source. We love. We are loving beings. We come to this planet in love. We had to fight a lot of darkness. And love was very upset because love doesn't fight. But we had to learn to use discernment to defend ourselves, our rights, our property, as in our boundaries. We had to set rules and new rules for people to understand, well, you cannot own me, you cannot own this, or run or control this. And the complication on this planet, as in the Arcturian channelings said, is it is very hard to help a race to awaken when there's a lot of Anunnaki and pre-programming of a slave modality within the gene code that people act upon. That's also based on the viral infection of the body. So many of us that run around think that we're healthy, we're vital, we're sportsmen, but we have, you can say, collectives of bacteria in us that play with all the mythological foundation of what our makeup and our soul blueprint is, and they create a little bit of a turbulence, but the frequency doesn't allow them no longer to stay in our vessels. This was a shared experience from a higher to a lower, and it's no longer required. That's why right now we're going to a little bit of a stage of confusion. So this could be an elongated energy report, which I will turn the weekly probably into a monthly, because it's so much work. I'm literally on a roller coaster of life with all the things that I have been through the past life. Amazing and also frightening, sometimes also threatening for when you go public, because not everybody goes public. Not everybody dares to go out there and say, well, this is how I truly feel in love. And that's not yet, I say, but soon, major business in saying that you're an extraterrestrial in human form and you came to this planet to help activate and raise the consciousness. And some people say, past memories are not needed. Well, the memories are returning so you can remember how to actually go about planetary repair. That has to do with total recall. Now imagine all of you are fallen angels, and when you get healthy and you get well, you have something like total recall, meaning a memory of why you came, how you came, and the lineage of lives you have lived actually to come to this point to make actually this exploration, so you can expand on the vastness of your experience. That is important, and that is by design. There's even no discussion about that. That is just what is. And then, you know, in the past, I always use that funny analogy. Grandpa from the 1930s says, I stick with my mono radio. This was safe. Color TV is the devil. Stereo is the devil. Or the internet, the cyberspace, the ditter, and all of what it is going on is the devil. It is not. It is an expansion of the mind. Well, so does Grandpa not go for any healing modalities, and he dies in his chamber, gives off his vessel because he thought that his cause was the cause, and this paradigm of Grandpa is going extinct. Whether people believe it or not, they want to resist, it's going extinct. In a couple of years, nobody will remember that paradigm that's bitching and bickering and it's not ready to make the transition and it's open. And what is this new love thing? Love opening up, and I've been married for 35 years. I don't love my dragon at home when I get home, so I drink to keep her at bay. But that's what you do. That's just what you do. No more. I'm turning it a little bit to a joke because it becomes a joke. Right now, the original love is returning. The original angelic kin are finding each other, and I'm getting the sense that some of you that do not speak, whether you're male or female, in whatever part you find, and don't be afraid to be rejected. If it's not mutual, boundaries have to be respected. We have dreams of each other right now. We are in contact in fifth dimensional space already. That's the preparatory stage of meeting in the flesh. What you do with that depends entirely on you. That is based also in connection on the video that I did with Krista. The open relationship is the current is that you're no longer bound by a fixed partner. By choice, you can do that. And I'm not saying everybody, let's go and it's all over. But when you have feelings right now, your body will tell you, oh, how does that feel? And it feels wonderful. And you can't explain it. You feel like you're not in control, but it's a warm feeling and you're connecting with something. You feel like you're at home or you want to be near somebody. That doesn't have to be interpreted ultimately into, I want to live with you, I want to spend the rest of my life with you. Some of us have partners. Some have made choices, some are open, some are not open. You know, it gets very, very confusing because all of this memory that we are coming from love. We are born from love. We are born love. I always use love as an acronym as level of various emotions. This is what makes you here as a person, as a sound wave in the flesh, light, sound, color on this planet, on this template here, making the ascension. And we are in the middle of it. Those who think that nothing happened 2012, you kind of missed the bus. Those who are still stuck in Roswell trying to find evidence, you kind of begin to miss the bus. Those who are opening up to events that are unfolding right now and are being explained in 5D and bringing back conscious memories from what you call dreamscape are beginning to be on the bus. People who try to steal that what others have, is you missing the bus and you're needing to learn what love is. Love cooperates. Love yourself. This is what I always had just throughout the years. I forgot that, is I love myself. And if I'm sitting in my little lab doing a video or working on a new power cell or trying to invent something that can help for, I don't know, clearing of a riverbed, is I see the resistance, but I also see the people that support me. And I see the intelligence that's behind the support. And when somebody says, yeah, gizmos and gadgets, people drive cars, people have the internet, we're connecting, we're using gizmos and gadgets to understand our consciousness. That is vital to understand the grounding of spirit in the body. That's why we have created also a monetary system that everybody curses and wants it to crash and this and that. This is part of your energy exchange that you have created. Now you take control back, and digitally it's going to be more clearer now and transparent, so you can't fake numbers like people used to. It'll be all, how do you say, digitally recorded what you do, and it's all traceable. So now we really see where the energy of that money goes and who's behind that energy, because everything becomes traceable. People complain about security systems. Well, these security systems are a natural response of the psyche immunal system of what conscious is to protect itself, because we've been dabbling, gambling, distorting the image of that what is, and now it is desperately trying to rectify itself. And when you keep it legit, guess what? It's going to be legit around you. And awareness is the ultimate protection. Be aware of what is around you. So for the love energy that is occurring right now, as like some of you have dreams of images that you see or beings that you see. Either it could be it's been even an entertainer, not like a crush that you collect stickers and you have a poster and you develop the secret crush because you imagine it's now out of nowhere. Some being that you've seen once pops up in your subconscious and you have a dream, whether it is an erotic dream or an adventurous dream, but you feel a mutual connection is going on. This is an old soul memory of beings that you used to be near when it was a past lifetime or off-planetary time. Let it unfold. Don't be afraid to make contact. Some people resonate. If some people do not resonate, they're not ready yet, or they don't have the memory seeing you in the dream. I have spoken to people that I remember seeing on ships. They both, without me installing that into anybody, or what people say is all manipulation or suggestion. I have people calling me saying, I was on a ship, I was in a golden chamber, you had on an orange robe and you were sitting in front of me, same face, and we were talking. And I say, either I resonate when I get goosebumps, or I say I have no memory, but I feel the authentic experience of your dream. Or at times I say, well, I really truly remember the same thing. I don't remember exactly what we talked about. I remember your face. So every now and then I see faces online where I'm like, this person, even know why this person feels so familiar. Or if this person feels really warm, or you feel like you want to talk for 4 hours because there's something that's happening. Well, these higher selves or higher mind cells are coming together now to communicate on a higher level as we're ascending into higher levels, and we're in the middle of it. So ascension is not as evident as people want it to be with the Hollywood spectacle and the light beams and the lasers and all the crazy things that appear. It is very subtle, very, very subtle. You gotta look for it, not for the obvious, not for the flashy, not for the loud, not for the biggest, the baddest, the best, the highest, the fastest, the widest, the whatever. Look for subtleties that synchronize. That is your path. That is where you are. If you choose to be on a path that you don't like, guess what? The universe will conspire against you to find your way. So you will run into resistance. But like resistance to a point where you reach a dead end and it's not working. So trust that gut feeling or your gut brain feeling, that when there's something that you really feel in resonance with, where you take all the conceptual thinking that you have learned as a grown-up, let all of them go and really sit with yourself and see yourself and see how you truly feel with that moment. That's where your love is. That's where you're loved. Whoever you may find, there's nothing being suggested here, is let babies make the choice of who is safe to come to your house. Watch the cats and the kids. They mingle around the beings that they feel safe. Have you ever had a stranger come to your house, and let's say you have a little baby and the baby cries and you want the person to hold that baby, but the baby's like, no, well, that person carries something where the baby's going, nuh-uh, I don't like the vibe. There's no lie in that. That's what I go by. And that's what I trust in. And that's the intuition that brought me here. That's what makes me make videos, sharing a conversation with you, make it shareable. And I do these videos all day, every day. That doesn't cost anything. You're not required to buy anything here. Just your time listening to what I'm sharing with you. When I picked up my nephews in Germany from kindergarten, all the kids sat around me. They all mingled because they felt safe. When I built a tree house with them or went out with them, they felt safe. And it was unconditional. They know I was here, I was safe, I checked the fire, I got the wood, and I make sure they're safe. And I brought them home safe. And that's all that kids know. And now, love is asking you for the required discipline to create that safety again. Create that safety for you and your kin, your kind, and learn to be kind to one another. It's not about flashy and this brutal stuff going on anymore. Yes, we can use a reference and review what was, and now we're coming to what is, and everybody can make a choice to not scream, to not be an attacker, to not criticize, to in silence see where's the resonance, and I go with what resonates in silence. You know, like I said, you don't have to burn down a house because you don't like the color of the house, or curse out the kitchen and the cook because you don't like a certain restaurant. You pass the restaurant, you hold it together. In Germany we would say reiß dich zusammen, meaning handle it. Be disciplined and handle yourself in peace, not in a demonstration, not in violence or violent acts. To state your case, and you can say, this is for you, this is for me. You might like carrots, the other choice might be you like beans, but you don't fight over who likes what or what. You have a choice. You create that choice from love, and love is truly as love does. And I'm seeing more and more, am I realizing what some beings are not doing, and how they're hiding or erasing their accounts, or changing names, or hiding behind masks, or erasing or deleting themselves because they don't have the discipline that is, yes indeed, on a spiritual sense, required for your ascension process. To keep you clear, have your thought management in control. And if you watch the movie Pan can fly because he thinks happy thoughts. Well, guess what? In dreams, when you can fly, they measure the dream state, like the EEG. Brain goes in a very high states of joy and releases DMT, dimethyltryptamine. And what do these methyl groups, without the trippy aspect of the dream, what do methyl groups do? They heal the cell structure, they cleanse the liver, they clear the kidneys, they clear the bladder, they clear the gallbladder. Everything in the body is affected when you're flying in your dreams. Dreams are to be interpreted directly into your life. And that dream interpretation and dreaming and conscious dreaming comes into play. And when you get into the balance and in the vortex of self, guess what? Your wildest dreams will come true. It will take place. You plan a journey which you thought you never could do, and all of a sudden you're convinced that you can reach that goal, and you're honest about it, and you share that with people. You will find support. People will be behind you, and I'm very thankful that it's really there. You people show me there are enough collectives that understand and have enough insight and enough feeling. That's where telepathy begins. Telepathy begins in, can you feel me? Can you feel what is appropriate to say to me at what given time? Can you feel when I wish to be approached, and can you feel when I don't wish to be approached? And when you can feel that and really on the money with what you're sensing, with what is, not what you want to be, and of course not assuming, well, you get telepathic. And that is the basic level for first contact with your own kind before any upper dimensional contact can take place. And when that is recalibrated and you can meet your kind in love and with respect and with discipline, which is looked at, whether you have a Facebook account or a YouTube account, how do you behave? Are you trolling? Are you supporting groups? Are groups asking you to support them, or are you being asked to be an administrator? The truth is, through these electronics, the reflection of yourself will show you exactly on the level of consciousness where you are. Do you have a YouTube channel and you have 32 subscribers and you hate the world and you're attacking everything around you, criticize and want to debunk the world? or that describes exactly where you are. The healthy cells in a human organism do not want to connect with an unhealthy cell. Organisms will defend themselves. So as Facebook has groups that report in Facebook reviews what's to be reported, so has YouTube a face recognition software that if you protect your content ID, anything with your face you can protect if you haven't given your consent, and I don't care about fair use. If you're not in agreement, then we're not talking fair use anymore. I don't care what law or man-made laws are out there. If things are being done, and we have to learn that as humans, amongst each other, that we are not in agreement with, that agreement has to be stated, that you can say, I'm not in agreement with the reality that you're creating, and it has to be respected. And when that comes in, we'll all get together, we'll all get smarter, we all get along, and we all become creative and a very powerful force of oneness. And that is meaning all is one. One is all means when a couple of people work in unison. We are still individuals, but not like I'm you, you are me, and if I cut myself, you're cut. It's not that direct. But we are interconnected. In our independence, we are interdependent, and that creates this organism of human consciousness with all the extracelestial consciousness embodied within the flesh, and that means all of us. And there are specifics, and there are things like if I show you my other video where I'm showing about the coming out, some of us receive templates that we can draw up. Some cannot receive those. Some may mimic those. Some want to be those. That'll be also evident. Don't mimic that when you're not that. If you're at stage 2 and somebody's at stage 9, let it all unfold without thinking competitive. Oh, I'm 2-dimensional. I'm 10-dimensional. I'm 72-dimensional. Has nothing to do with if you're sideways, upside down, or wherever you are. It has to do with how do you act in your stages of development. That is what the soul is being weighed with or measured with. How do we walk the walk? And that is the message. As you walk through life, planetary constellations, interchanging situations, people in life, things you like, things you don't like, how are you operating with the circumstantial evidence that is making you and your path evident? That's being looked upon by you, your higher self, and your higher council. And to that, you have to answer. And on that note, I see you on the flip side. Peace.